Hello, 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 friends. Hello, Ann and Will. This is Dan. I hope that you'll get to watch this someday. You're about to get married. I can see you out the windows right here, and Ann, you're just about to walk down the aisle. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am in beautiful Shelby, North Carolina. I don't think I've ever been here before, which is kind of amazing. I thought I'd been everywhere in Raleigh. I thought I'd been everywhere in North Carolina. Certainly not everywhere in Raleigh. I'm going to be doing a painting of the first dance, which is going to take place in a little while. And it's going to take place just over to my right, over my right shoulder. And it is a beautiful room with a beautiful fireplace and beautiful greenery on it, and beautiful candles. Are you tired of me saying the word beautiful yet? And Anne is beautiful. And Will is okay, you know. Sorry, Will. You know it's true, buddy. And looking forward to a very fun evening, which, as I understand it, won't really end until about 12:30 a.m. Okay, so I've started painting at 5:30 sharp, which means I'll have about 6.5 hours. Halfway through the evening, or 2/3 through the evening, actually twice, I'll have to pick up my easel and move probably twice during the evening. Now, those of you who've never seen me before, you have every right to go, what the heck? Okay, so here is basically, this is the room that's right over to my right. I'll show you there for a second. There you go. That's where the band is going to play, and the fireplace is right there. There you go. You see it? So, in the meantime, I can go ahead and... All right, so I started to say, those of you who have... You caught me. Supposed to be getting married? Sorry, I keep getting interrupted. Those of you who have never seen me before, hi, my name is Dan. I begin all of my paintings in a very unusual manner. I'll be the first to admit that it's very unconventional. I start my paintings by doing a crazy abstract marks, which you just saw me do. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I could talk a lot more about everything, but I'll let it go for a minute. There's my wife. Yay. All is not lost. Nancy is here. So I start my paintings with these crazy abstract shapes. And then proceed to do a painting on top of them. And some of them, and of course I never know which ones, some of them will show through all the way to the very finished painting, but I never know which ones. So I just make sure that they all look interesting. So whichever ones show up, will look good. That's my only care. And at the moment, I'm trying to draw, of course, the perspective of the room. This is the fireplace right here. There's a nice big, not big, but nice candelabra thing, sconce, on the wall. I'm starting the drawing with a fairly light color, in this case, orange, so that I can do a second darker color. I'm guessing they will either go here or here. Here, they're going to go there. All right, so I'm going to move the chandelier so that it's not bumping into Will's head. I do most of my wedding paintings, the photographs that I take for the wedding paintings, for the portrait, at a low vantage point. I'm shooting up toward the ceiling, so to speak. That puts the horizon low in the painting, and people that are close then are big, so the bride and groom will appear large, and anybody else in the painting will be smaller because of the perspective. That was probably as clear as mud, but that's the truth. Anyway, so I'm accustomed to taking, during the first dance, which is what this is going to be a painting of, during the first dance, I'll be taking a whole bunch of pictures of Anne and Will. Okay, second drawing. Let's see if I can just make a few corrections. Okay, bride and groom. At the moment, they're red. There. My job here is finished. I could pack up and go home. They were hoping to do the ceremony out on the golf course here, but unfortunately the weather has not cooperated with them. So they're doing the ceremony on a balcony, again out the windows to my left there. And the good news is that change of plans will have no impact on the happiness of their marriage. In fact, if I hadn't mentioned it in this video, they would have forgotten it by now. Door, I guess right behind. Oh, that's not a good arrangement. So to move them a little bit so the door doesn't frame them perfectly. And I believe in this painting it calls for other people. So I'm going to go ahead and show other people standing around the room, which I'm sure they will be doing. watching the happy couple do their first dance. I think we're getting a little static here, but it may not have any. We are. Hang on. Is that better? A little bit, not much. Hello, Karen, Artist Ross, and Chrissy. And Chrissy asked a question. The answer is yes. I used the Jumbo Jet Black pencils from Jerry's Autorama. That is correct. When Will and Ann watch this, they'll say, what? Jumbo Jet Black, what are you talking about? So, Will and Nancy, I'll tell you that I broadcast all the time, almost every day, or 5 days a week anyway. So I have a number of regular viewers, and they ask regular viewer questions. No, this is okay. Make them bigger. And this table has to be moved. It's awkward. It's too close to the couple. So. All right, now I'm going to stand back. I know I'm whispering. Get used to it. Well, actually, much of the night, the music will be very loud, and at that time, there'll be times that I have to stop broadcasting or broadcast in silence, one or the other. Okay, pencils now, and some changes. Moving the fireplace down. By the way, a couple of people have asked me recently, and I've failed to answer them yet. By the way, I'm going to put a fire in the fireplace. There is not a fire in the fireplace at the moment. Maybe they'll turn on the gas logs later tonight. I don't know. Anyway, I get asked whether the black pencils smear when I varnish the paintings. The answer is hearty and happy. No, no, no. Not at all. Pretty candles. Somebody evidently has done this before. And pretty greenery. And we'll put some more people over here. That's about right, I think. guess I can do a little bit more. Then we'll have a break. Whoops. Are we going? We are. I can do some white. There's a lot that of course, that I can't do until I get the photograph of Will and Anne dancing. So I'll just do what I can here. While I'm waiting for all that to dry, I can do a little bit of finer details. And again, a slightly darker color. So let's get going with that. Aha, I hear some cheering. Evidently the ceremony is finished. I'm sorry I missed it, but I'm busy. Leave me alone, I'm busy. So hopefully the first dance will not be too long in coming. And in a minute, I'll pause this broadcast. One slightly, for me, slightly unusual detail of this wedding is all the bridesmaids are wearing black, which I think is just charming. From an aesthetic point of view, I really like the look. Plus, I happen to be aware that all the bridesmaids can wear their black dresses often in the future if they want to. All right. I've nearly done all I can do. Almost. Have this trick up my sleeve, which is to smear any ink. It's Inktober. I must have ink on the brain. Any paint that is still wet, and of course I'm smearing it so that it's thin, so that it dries more quickly. And what about the smear marks, you say? Well, you saw how I did them with great vigor and energy so that the smear marks that I just made actually look good because I did them with confidence, boldness, energy, and so forth. I'm taking that one step further. Doing the same thing with the rag now. There you go. So in just a minute, I'll be able to do some glazes on top of that. And here come the guests. I guess I'll keep painting so that I look like I'm doing something. All right, let's do a glaze or two, mostly warm. So, orange and yellow on this brush, and some medium gack. This is a good time for the people to come in. They're going to take one look at this and say, oh, he's one of those modern artists. I love it. For the rest of the night, they'll be coming up to me and say, you know, when I first came in, you were doing all that crazy stuff. I thought, and now look at, oh my God. That's sorry. That is what they'll say, trust me. And I enjoy it. Let's do pencils again. Whoops, they need sharpening. Good thing I have a sharpener right here. Pardon me for a moment. I duck backstage and sharpen my pencils. Let me see more detail. on the plants that are sitting on top of the fireplace. As you can see, with the if the canvas is too soupy, my pencils have a hard time making a mark, but it still creates a fascinating texture. Hello, Karen. Thank you. I know it's too bad I can't just sort of leave it at something like this, at this beautiful abstract layer. Ooh, my wife Nancy bringing me a bite. Thank you. Thank you. So, Anne and Will, the only piece of serious fiction that I'm going to put in this painting is I'm going to put fire in the fireplace. All right? Hope you agree with that call. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute, it looked better if Anne and Will overlapped the fireplace a little bit. There we go. That's a good decision. Now, I know no idea if it's Anne and Will or Will and Anne, so I'll wait on that. And I guess I can do one more layer of white before I take a break to shoot the first dance. I don't know if you can hear me. I think you can. Whenever possible, in an interior scene like this, I love to include at least one window so that I can get some cool blue light coming in to contrast to all the warm light in the room. So I have one window over here, and I'm very, very glad that it's there. So since there's not much I can do on the bride and groom, because I don't know what they're going to look like, but I can work on some of these guests. I keep all the people in my wedding paintings, unless I have a special request, which happens sometimes. I keep them, as you can see, quite abstract. For several reasons. One is I don't have time. I think it's a huge distraction to portraits of other people at the wedding when it's a portrait about the bride and groom. So, plus I don't have time. Plus, if the people are very abstract, and this will happen a lot, it'll happen a dozen times tonight. Somebody will walk up to me and say, "So where am I?" And because my figures are so abstract, I can easily point to any one of these figures, and they get a big kick out of that. So there you go. All right, more pencil. One more bite. Hey gang, I see all your nice chats. Hello Jody, Susan, Karen, Barbara, Travis, and everybody. Hey gang. Yeah, I sort of like what I just did when I just darkened the corners and made more of a mess. All done. No. Yeah. I was really glad to hear that the reception lasts till 12:30. I'm the only worker bee that's really happy about that.
That's right. Your work is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Barbara. I'm loving it too, actually. Once I finally get painting, I really do love this. So getting to this point, bit of a challenge. Anyway, can't complain. Not complaining. All right, gang. I've noodled around with this as much as I dare, and I don't want to do any more before the bride and groom get here and then take their pictures. So I'm going to end this broadcast. Thanks for all your chats. I look forward to reading those later. And I'll start another broadcast so that those of you who want will get a notification, I would guess in 30 minutes or so. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.